We are back from the Stafford National Exhibition, and of course we have got some new birds. 3 different species which you have never seen on the channel before. One of them is a species returning to Aviary after a 7 to 8 year absence, and 2 of them are species I've never worked with before, but I'm really looking forward to working with them, and of course we'll be introducing them to you all today. So the first new species is in the aviary right behind me, and believe it or not, I didn't realise this species existed until approximately 6 months ago when I was doing some research around birds available in UK and European aviculture that can be used as model species, or unless they are the actual species, for critically endangered birds. And I discovered these that I thought were absolutely fabulous and really keen to get them. So they're a species from South America. They're native to southern Mexico, Argentina, Peru, Trinidad and the Caribbean. They weigh approximately 70 grams. They're a dove species, and no, they aren't diamond doves that you can hear behind me. More on those in another episode. What we have here is a pair of blue ground doves. So they're an absolutely gorgeous dove species. I brought them in, reserved them to collect at Stafford from a really good breeder, and I just think they're absolutely fabulous. They're stunning. I mean, the look of them, the male with that lovely slate blue, is just fantastic. So really pleased to have them on board, and like I say, I'm going to be using these as a model species for a critically endangered, almost extinct bird species which I'll be working with, all going well, early next year as we jet off on an international trip, but more about that in the future as well. So what they do is they spend a lot of their time on the floor foraging for food. So they will go for a lot of different grains, a lot of different seeds, small fruits, and occasionally small insects as well. We've also got a big tray of water in there which they're loving at the moment. I've put a universal softbill mix in there for them. They're really enjoying that as well. So an absolutely gorgeous species of dove. Both young birds, 2025 bred, so really pleased to have them here and now. You can notice that this is how I'm housing them. They're in this aviary that's probably, in all honesty, a little bit smaller than ideal, so it's not going to be their long-term housing. It's 2 feet wide, 5 feet long, 6 feet tall, and in here is why we're housing them, is for quarantine purposes. We're able to keep them separate from my other bird species, so there's no disease transfer, although I don't think a disease transfer is going to be an issue between these birds or my birds. They're looking in fantastic condition. Equally, in a smaller aviary, it's allowing me to body condition score them. So whilst they're in here for a couple of weeks, it's just ideal that I can check that they're holding weight, they're at a good weight, they're looking bright-eyed, there's no issues with their feet, for example. Are they behaviourally okay? Are they attacking each other? Because you never know, these things can happen. And then finally, it's really easy to control this environment. They're in a smaller aviary that, in typical English weather fashion, as many of you may know, is right now it's sunny, but actually, believe it or not, for the past week, it's been throwing it down, it's been raining, it's been windy, we've had storms. So having them in here where I can stick a heater in there, put some plastic over the front and make it a little bit more private and ideal for them is going to work really nicely. So they're in here for the next month or so, quarantining, but so far they're looking fantastic. I'm really pleased to have them on board, and of course you can follow the journey of my blue ground doves here on YouTube and on the other OC Aviary social media channels, but I'm really keen to have them and hope you like them. So welcome into the house, everybody. We are in the family dining room at the moment, which is not being used for dining. As you can see, we have a new pair of birds in a fairly large cage in here. Now, there's a very particular reason that they're inside, and it's because they've came from a heated aviary or bird room that was anywhere between 20 to 30 degrees C. And of course, having them outside where we have the native birds, they're going to get whatever temperature is outside, and like we say, classic English weather, it went down to about 3 degrees, so I don't think these would have survived. So anyway, introducing the birds. This is a pair of Spanish Gouldian finches. Now, I'm sure many of you are thinking, Ollie, you've absolutely lost the plot, you've lost the marbles, you know, you've got Gouldian finches. After everything we're doing with all the European birds in conservation projects, all sorts of different things, why have you got some foreign finches? Well, it's actually for a very, very good reason. This is a pair of birds from the Ivan Vera bloodline. So Aviary Vera, we went to visit Ivan and his family earlier this summer to see their world-class Gouldian finch breeding setup, where Ivan, since I think 2008, has won many, many gold medals with his Gouldian finches at the World Show. So they're well renowned for being one of the best studs of Gouldians anywhere in the world. And we have a pair of birds from that bloodline. So they are a pair of birds from a UK breeder, of course. We can't import birds at the moment quite easily anyway as hobbyists. It's a fairly expensive process, so we can't bring them in from Spain. So what we've got is the next best thing, which is Ivan's bloodline from a UK breeder. So these are a fantastic pair of Gouldians. We have, and please correct me if I get this wrong, a orange-headed, purple-breasted cockbird and an orange-headed, white-breasted hen. So absolutely lovely pair. I mean, they're stunning. The male bird in particular, it's like you look at it and think, how is that a real bird? Absolutely amazing, absolutely stunning birds, these. So really, really pleased to have them. You can see I've actually got a sort of full spectrum light on the top as well, just to brighten the cage up. Helps the birds really sort of get over the travel, because they don't travel the best, and they've come quite a long way from southern England to me. But they're looking fantastic, they're eating really well, and then I think within the next month or so actually is naturally when they would begin to breed. So we have got one of the nest boxes we got from Ivan at Aviary Vera. We've got this. This is a Gouldian finch nest box, but it's more of a, let's say, a domesticated Gouldian finch nest box. It's the flat fronts, you can access it from the top, and we've actually put some coconut fibre in there. But in the wild, actually, Gouldians nest by sort of going into a tree by about 4 inches and then into the cavity for the nest. And Ivan does make those nest boxes as well, but for the moment, I'm going to keep it to what they would be familiar with, and we're going to go for this style nest box. So really, really nice with those, but the pair are looking fantastic. They've adapted really well over the past week or so to being here in the dining room. And then what my plan is once I've got a few things out of the way around November time, I am going to put them in the bird room and install a localized heat source for them. So they can be out in the bird room because they're not living here full term in the house, and then we'll have them in there with some localized heat, and fingers crossed we might be able to breed them. But what an absolutely stunning pair of Gouldian finches this is. So last but certainly no means least is the final pair of new arrivals. This is a pair of birds that I've been wondering about for a couple of years, and we've got them down here at our conservation aviaries because, all going well, these birds are going to be the start of another conservation project I'll be involved with. So the first thing we need to do is get their aviary set up, but I must warn you, this is not a pair of birds you've ever seen anything like on the channel before. I've never had anything like them, and the aviary is going to be a little bit different. So that is the aviary now set up. This is the new aviary I built only just over a week ago. So let me take you inside now it's been set up. So to begin with, we have 2 large feed bowls on the floor. We've got a universal sort of soft bill mix. It's like a soft food. We've got some pellets for them because this species like a pellet, and it's actually, believe it or not, a marine duck pellet. That is what this species really prefers to be fed on and does really quite well on in captivity. We've actually got a tray of mealworms as well. I will offer a lot of different live food, but initially this is what the previous owner was feeding them on a lot of the time, so I want to try and keep it as familiar as possible to make the transition as easy for these birds. And then finally, a fairly large deep tray of water. So maybe that's telling you what this species might be. As you can notice, there are no branches in here because this is not a species that perches. So let me know, what are your guesses for what the species is in the comments section before I show you, but now we are going to release them into the aviary. And here they are, the final pair of birds is a pair of northern lapwings. Now, it's a beautiful pair of birds, both 2025 bred birds. They're a native bird species, native to the British Isles. They're actually a wader bird species, so they do fly, of course they fly, but they don't fly as much as you would expect like our twites or our turtle doves. They live on the ground for pretty much all of their lives. So they often live in highland areas. They'll actually be usually found when breeding actually in ploughed fields or large wilded areas of fields and things, and that's exactly why we've got them, is for a reintroduction project that is interesting them in several sites. So this is the first pair of birds, like I say, 2025 bred. The original owner, the breeder of these birds, had them in an aviary approximately similar in size to this one, which is about 12 feet by 10 feet or so, something along those lines. But the point is, they're a beautiful pair of birds. We're going to house them in here initially, and then they will be going out into some outdoor enclosures, hopefully when the weather turns a little bit nicer. So that is the new birds, everybody. I really hope you like them. I'm really pleased with them, to be quite honest with you. I'm intrigued to know your thoughts, in all honesty. I know a lot of people will be saying, Ollie, you know, I just thought you'd stick with the native birds and carry on with that. And of course, that is absolutely the intention. The native birds is absolutely my major passion and something that I've been working on over the past 6 years or so, and that will continue to be the case. But of course, when the opportunities arise to get in some more particularly unusual things, like the availability of those Gouldian finches, or of course the lapwings, which we're doing the conservation project with, and the blue ground doves, which are a stunning species from South America, there's an opportunity there to really develop and learn these different avicultural expertise with different species that behave differently, they feed differently, they're from different areas, different climates. So I just can't pass up that opportunity. But of course, you'll be seeing how all of those birds get on and all the rest of my birds as we approach all of the shows over the upcoming winter. So we've got a couple of specialist British bird shows, we've got a Cage Bird Society show that I'm actually judging, we've got the big Bird Keepers Association show in December, and then we've got a lot of different trips organised as well. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you all. Let me know in the comments section what you think of the new birds, and if there's something else you'd like to see on the channel as a species, then let me know. I'd love to get your thoughts. One of the parts of doing this is bringing you along with my experience with these species. So if I get something new in that's particularly unusual or just not the normal sort of thing, then I'd love to share it with you as well. So anyway, everyone, that is it from me. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you'd like today's video and you'd like to see more from OC Aviary, make sure to subscribe down below, smash a like on the video, hit the notification bell, and follow us on other social media, Instagram, Facebook and TikTok, for daily updates and behind the scenes footage of all of our birds, bird events, tours, everything really cool coming up. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.